Hey guys, this is Mr. Grice for Algebra Unit 7.4 Notes Day 2. Today we're going to be talking about being able to factor polynomials that have a negative GCF. Please take out a sheet of paper so you can copy the examples, or you can go on the class website and you can print the slideshow directly from there. So, if your leading term is a negative, then the GCF is also negative. So here's example 1. We've got 9x squared plus 3x. Well, in here, our GCF is 3x, okay? But if we have a negative 3x squared plus 3x, our leading coefficient, the thing out in front, is that negative 9x. Do you guys see that? So if our leading coefficient is negative, that means our GCF is going to be negative. So here we go. Example number 3. Factor using the GCF. If the leading term of the polynomial is negative, the GCF is also negative. So go ahead and copy that down. So what's your GCF? What'd you get? Okay, so see how we did the factoring of 32 and 28. What's the highest that they both have in common? Hopefully you're telling me it's 4. Good. Okay, and now when you look at the exponents, I'm sorry, the m's, how many m's do they both have in common? Well, they both have m's, but the lowest one is 2. So that's why our GCF is a negative 4m squared. Okay, so when we divide that out, the negative 4m squared goes in front, and then you write the remainder. Okay, so negative 32 divided by negative 4 is 8. M cubed divided by m squared gives us m. Negative 28 divided by negative 4 is positive 7, and the m squareds cancel out. All right, let's look at 4. Go ahead and copy that down. Remember, at any time if you need to go back, just rewind the video. All right, so the first thing that you should do is after you copy them down is write out the factors of 12 and 30. So what's the GCF? Did you get 6? Now, looking at your variables, what do they both have in common? Okay, they both have y's, but how many? Okay, well, they both have a minimum of 4. What about x's? Do they both have x's? No, they don't. Okay, so the x is not a part of your GCF. The GCF is negative 6, y to the 4th. And the reason why it's a negative 6 is because our leading coefficient is negative. Okay? So when you divide that out, the negative 6y to the 4th goes out front, and then you write the remainder. So what's negative 12 divided by 6? Okay, start doing that in your head. Start figuring it out. And when you're all done, we get negative 6y to the 4th over 2x squared plus 5y. Remember, a negative divided by a negative is a positive, guys. All right, let's look at example number 5. Go ahead and write that one down. So remember, the first thing that we have to do is find out what the GCF is. And the highest that they both have in common is 8. Okay? So now let's look at the variables. How many A's do they have in common? What about the B's? What about the C's? Okay, you should have negative 8ab c to the second power. And now divide that out. Remember that your GCF goes out front and the remainder goes inside the parentheses. So negative 40 divided by negative 8. A divided by A. B to the fourth divided by B. C squared divided by C squared. Then you have negative 16 divided by negative 8. A divided by A, B divided by B, and C cubed divided by C squared. And then that's where we get our answer, negative 8abc squared to the second power. Inside the parentheses, 5b cubed plus 2c. Okay, example number 6. Okay, so you guys should be writing down the factors of negative 40 and 28. And once again, some of you guys might know all of those right off the top of your heads. Okay? Why don't you just pause the video and see if you can do the whole thing on your own. Good luck. Okay, so you should have divided by negative 4p squared because the p squared is the only thing they have in common. And then the negative 4p squared, your GCF comes out front. Negative 40 divided by negative 4 is 10. You have 1p left over, and the m squared q squared just comes straight down. And then positive 28 divided by negative 4 is a negative 7. Okay, now we've got a trinomial. So go ahead and take a look. What's the GCF? And remember, if it's a variable, it has to be on all three. Okay, you should have gotten negative 3 as your GCF. Remember, if the leading coefficient is negative, the GCF is negative. And then when you divide that out, the negative 3 comes out front. And there's your answer. The remainder goes inside the parentheses. All right, example number 8. Go ahead and write that down. So remember, see what the GCF is first, and then take a look at each of the variables. Okay, there are a lot of them. What'd you get for the GCF? Well, first negative 2, m to the 5th, n squared, p squared. Okay, so divide each one of those out. Your GCF comes out front. And remember, when you're dividing the exponents like that, you really just subtract the numbers 8. So m8 minus m5. N squared minus n squared. P squared minus p squared. And when you're all done with that, you should get negative 2m to the 5th n squared p squared. Our GCF goes out front. And then we're left with m cubed plus 4mp minus 4. And that's it. So remember, if you guys have any questions on any of those problems, you need to come see Miss Carranza or myself. We would love to help you out. And of course, if that video was too fast, just go back and re-watch it, guys. Okay? It's Mr. Grice, signing off. Thanks for watching.